I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's webcast. The other day I mentioned to you a coin minted by Israel in 1948. I want to show you that coin for just a few moments. We were talking about Psalm 1, "Blessed is the man, he shall be like a tree." These two motifs, the baby and the tree, the man-child and the tree, are the themes of the entire collection of the Psalms. And it just happens that when Israel minted this coin in 1948, it showed these two metaphors. I want to take just a little segment of the live message I gave on the prophetic Psalms, which, by the way, we want to offer to you on today's broadcast, so stick around. I want you to see just a little portion of what we had to say about this coin.
This introduces the entire collection of Psalms as the story of the rebirth of the baby and the replanting of the tree. In 1948, Israel minted this coin to commemorate its birth. On one side of the coin, there is a replica of the Judea Capta, the coin minted by the Emperor of Rome, Vespasian, father of Titus, conqueror of Jerusalem. You will see on that coin a Roman soldier standing with his foot on a helmet. On the other side of the tree on that coin, you'll see Rachel sitting, weeping, because her children are dead. Now the Romans, I'm sure, had long heard about this Rachel weeping over her children, for they are not. And so they used this as a symbol on their coin. It's a Roman coin showing, and the words Judea Capta, meaning Judea, that is the land of the Jews, is captured, captive, conquered. And that's the coin minted after AD 70 and the destruction of Jerusalem and the temple. But in 1948, the Jews put on the other side of the coin, Rachel not sitting, but standing, and she's holding up the man. Blessed is the man. This little baby is called Israel. He's been born again. And on the other side of that palm tree, you see a man planting a fig tree. Now Jesus said, when you see the fig tree shoot forth its leaves, you know that summer is nigh. When Israel plucked up out of her land, scattered to the Gentile nations of the world, when you see that tree replanted on holy ground, you know the time of the end is near. And this generation that is born, that is the nation, the little baby there in her arms, when you see this baby born, this generation shall not pass away until all the prophecies are fulfilled. An incredible study in Psalm 1, which introduces the entire collection of Psalms.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing that Psalm 1 could give us the theme of the entire collection of the Psalms. And when we get to Psalm 48, I want you to notice we have the same two metaphors. Psalm 48 says, "Great is the Lord." And by the way, 1948 was the year Israel was born. Okay, "Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised in the city of our God, in the mountain of his holiness, beautiful for situation." Now that term situation there, in the English doesn't really render it as well as it could, because in the Hebrew word is naph. Yes, it's situated at the right place, but what is it that is situated? Beautiful for situation. The word naph, there, translated situation, actually means a tree. It's unfortunate that we don't see it here in the English, but in the Hebrew, it is a tree. It's not just a little twig, it's a big tree. The nation of Israel. Beautiful for situation. Hey, it's planted at the right spot. It goes on to say, "The joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion." So this tree is planted on Mount Zion, on the sides of the north, the city of the great King. So here we have the tree replanted in Psalm 48. Remember, that happened in 1948. But then in verse 4, for lo, the kings were assembled, they passed by together. I think this could be a reference to the United Nations, because in September of 1947, they sent a delegation to the Holy Land to look over the situation between the Jews and the Palestinians. And they came back and recommended to the UN, to the General Assembly, for lo, the kings were assembled. They recommended to the General Assembly of the UN that the state of Israel be birthed, basically. So they saw it, and they marveled, they were troubled, and hasted away. That is, they went to look over the situation between the Jews and the Palestinians. Fear took hold upon them there, this delegation from the kings assembled, and pain as of a woman in travail. There it is, the birth of the baby. Psalm 48. We have the two metaphors, the replanting of the tree and the birth of the baby. But this time it's not just a tree replanted. It's not just a baby, blessed is the man, but we actually see the baby being born, okay? It says, woman in travail. She's giving birth to this baby. The next verse says, thou breakest the ships of Tarshish. Now, Tarshish represents the European merchants. And of course, the ships of Tarshish, in particular, are reference to the British. We find this also in Ezekiel chapter 38. So the ships of Tarshish here, the merchants of Tarshish, are the British. They ruled the seven seas. The sun never set upon the British Empire up until 1948. The British Empire was dominant throughout the world. Remember the Hudson Bay Company? Remember the East India Company? Well, they had the ships that traveled around the world taking goods to various places and collecting produce or products that they could go back and sell in Europe. And so the British here are mentioned that their ships are broken. In other words, the British flag that flew over Palestine had to come down. May 14th, 1948, the British flag was lowered, and the Israeli flag was hoisted over the land for the first time in 1813 years. Psalm 48, 1948. And both motifs are given that are on the coin: the birth of the baby and the replanting of the tree. Astounding. Say, I'd like for you to get this lecture that I gave before a live audience at a Florida Prophecy Conference. I want you to get it. And here's the way I want you to do it. I want to give it to you absolutely free as my way of saying thank you for your gift to help us in moving this studio over to our new building. We have a new studio built over there. We have the carpet down. It's finished now. We're going to be pulling these lights down and putting them over there, taking these cameras down in the next few days and moving them over there. And so we are preparing this webcast a few days early, okay, so that while you're watching this, we can be getting our studio ready over there. Well, there are a number of things we need. We need a new switcher. We need a method by which we can use the 3 cameras. We are buying a third camera. We have 2 already. We're buying a nice third camera. And it's a used camera, by the way. We're not spending $25,000 on it like these 2 cost us. We're going to get it for about $12,500, about half price. But we're frugal. We're not splurging God's money. But if you can help us, there are a few things that we do need. We need to enhance our studio and our capabilities over there so that we can go to 16 by 9 screens instead of this 4 by 3. All right? So we need your help. If you can help us, a gift of any amount, whether it's $10 or $100 or $1,000 or whatever it is, ask for the prophetic Psalms when you give your donation. Call the phone number at the bottom of your screen, 1-800-475-1111. Talk to someone in our office and make your donation to help us outfit our new studio, and we'll be glad to send you this as our way of saying thank you. And you'll enjoy this lecture on these prophetic Psalms. I'm J.R. Church. We'll see you again tomorrow with our study in the Psalms.